With us today is Yair Lapid, leader of the Yesh Atid party. Thank you for joining us, Yair. So how does Yesh Atid differ from other centre-left parties?
Well, first of all, we are not a centre-left party. We're a centre-center party, if you may call it this way. We are the party of the Israeli middle class, the old-fashioned taxpayers who served in the army and afterwards worked hard all their life, paying a high tax, and see that they cannot afford an apartment to their children, and the cost of living is going up, and there's no equality of burden with the other parts of Israeli society, and they're becoming more and more frustrated with the way things are going around here, domestic-wise.
What do you see as the biggest challenge facing Israel today?
We have a crisis here within our society of identity, of the way things are going. There's a whole generation here who looks around him and says, okay, this seems to go nowhere, and I'm worried, and my generation is almost totally absent from Israeli politics because of it. And we used to be a country in which there's a very obvious mainstream of the kind of people I just described to you, who felt, you know, they felt a connection to the Bible, but also part of the Western world. And one day we looked around us and we said, okay, there's no real mainstream. We have to recreate the Israeli middle class as the mainstream of the country.
Are you as adamantly secularist as your father was?
On personal basis, sure, but politically this is a very different initiative. The number 2 on Yesh Atid is a rabbi. During the Jolly Shinui days, it was obvious this is a combat between secular and religious. Here we're trying to do something else. I'm going to be very accurate on pointing myself toward things like the equality of burden in terms of drafting to the army and going into the employment market.
Would you agree to be in a coalition with either Shas or United Torah Judaism?
I will not go into the coalition as the fig leaf of a coalition which is all constructed by, you know, very ultra-orthodox and ultra-right and me. I mean, this will be immoral and unwise politically on the same time. So I'm not going to do this. What I'm trying to do now is convince my friends within the center of the Israeli political arena to go into government together and to make sure the next government is not going to be orthodox ultra-right government, because this will isolate us from the international community and will be disastrous in terms of the economy. So I think this is a terrible idea that we will create such a government in this country. I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure this will not happen.